And we're back. So it's been a crazy few months. My last update was from Vancouver Island. I was being graciously hosted there by my cousin and her family. It was a great place to park, but it was starting to get cold and rainy and wet, and I basically was down to the last portion of my credit card, and I decided to just take the risk, get my ass down here where I can live in the desert, be warm, be dry, and figure my shit out. Pardon my French. So we came down here, got a little dicey near Tonopah, Nevada on our way down because we got some snow. My tires on the truck aren't great. Get to that a little later. But we took it slow and steady, made it through, made it down here, and started to regroup. So basically, this winter has been all about regrouping. Now, what does regrouping entail? Well, let's back up a little bit into 2019. So April 2019, I lost my big contract to no fault of my own. They just weren't using my services like they should have been, but we're still paying for it. And then, of course, after a certain amount of time, they clue into that and pull the plug. So, after they pulled the plug in April, I started looking for new stuff, new contracts, new ideas. I invested in myself with an online course. Cost me a little bit too much money than I should have been spending. It involves a lot of prospecting, which is sales related, and I am not a good salesman. So that was a bit of a rough go and didn't really get me much. I landed a couple clients that lasted for 2 or 3 months here and there, kept me somewhat alive, but I was still essentially drowning financially. That's not a place that I've never been before. I've started over quite a few times, so it's not a big deal. And came down here, regrouped, started looking at different options, started sending out more emails, worked constantly on the t-shirt side of things at Wander Dog Swag, which is picking up slowly but surely. I've since been accepted into Amazon merch, which will help in the long run over time, because as I make some sales there, I will be able to upgrade my tiers and start submitting more designs, hopefully making more sales, keep it going, etc., etc. And that's kind of passive income because once the designs are up, Amazon handles all the printing, the shipping, and any customer service related issues. So once it's up, you just kind of forget about it, keep going, moving forward. What else? So as I was doing all that stuff, I got a reply to one of my emails from a place I used to work before I started all this. Now that place is in Calgary, Alberta. I used to go in every morning for 8 a.m. and leave every afternoon at 5ish, because my goal was to be out here, and this is where I wanted to be, traveling, seeing something new fairly often, exploring, that kind of thing. I was not a good fit for that job. The job itself, give or take, whatever, you know, not a bad place to work. If it's a good fit for you, it wasn't a good fit for me. But when I was in Alberta in the spring, I decided to stop in, say hello to a few people I knew, and I, at the time, was looking for work again, so I mentioned that if they ever need any extra outside help to let me know. And to make a long story longer, just before Christmas 2019, I got an email, we had a phone call, and the day that I got hired, or rehired, I guess it is, back there, was the day that my a very, very small amount was denied by my credit card. So it was literally the bottom in the morning of that day and back on the upswing by afternoon. So if that's not an indication that, you know, you just got to keep trying, keep hammering away. There's going to be good years, there's going to be bad years, but you can't give up. So, Doggo and I made it down here. We made it down here safe. It's warm. It is now, what, the 2nd of February right now. 2nd of February. This is technically California, but we're 20 miles from Yuma. It's called American Girl Mine. We started off down the road quite a ways. Then some friends came. So we moved, and we're going to be moving again in a couple of weeks. And in the meantime, I am working. That's basically what I've been doing. Working for this new job, spending most of my days in the trailer, which kind of sucks. But for now, it's good because I am getting shit back on track, and it's all part of life, right? I want to keep living this lifestyle. I don't want to go back to a brick and mortar job, and this place is now offering me enough hours that once I get my credit cards caught up, I'll be more than golden. So, that said, there's little things that also need to be done. Truck does need tires, so hopefully before I move along too far, those get done. And aside from that, my goal, hence the I'm back. My goal is to hunker down and really concentrate on doing at least one video a week. I'm gonna figure out a day, probably shoot more on Sundays and then edit evenings and get a video out once a week. Aside from a video out once a week, I plan on doing more t-shirts for the swag store. And then on top of all that, the renovations are going to start. So I've taken a lot of before video of the trailer, and we had an issue when I was coming down. I actually lost the lid for one of my escape hatches. It was an older escape hatch with an odd size. You couldn't just order the lid. I had to order a whole new insert, and when I went to put that in, I noticed that it was basically half an inch too small. So we had to reframe it up a little bit on the inside, and a friend of mine, Mr. Mike, he helped me out with that. And while we were doing that, we kind of fixed the stupid bezel on one above the bed. So that has kind of started the renovation process. And now that I'm working, I'm starting to kind of do baby steps. I bought some trim and a pin nailer. And, you know, I'm gonna trim up those hatch frames. That's first thing. Basically anything on the ceiling is getting done first because I'm working my way down from the ceiling and forward from the bedroom. So once I figure out a couple of light fixtures, then the bedroom itself is going to be basically torn out. I'm going to remain with carpet in the bedroom, but aside from that, eventually all that pink carpet will be gone. And I'm going to put in like a laminate plank floor. Those are the loose plans. I am back. Rollins is good. Yesterday we went for a drive, first kind of exploratory drive in a long time, just to get out and about. And we stopped in at a recreation area off of the 78 in California, close to the Colorado, called Oxbow, and he had a swim. Then we went and met some friends in Quartzsite for lunch at the Silly Al's Pizza. If you haven't been to Silly Al's Pizza, you want to go to Silly Al's Pizza, but make sure you have lots of time because it's always busy. And after lunch, we drove down 95 back towards Yuma, and Rollins had a swim in Mitri Lake, where I ran into more friends who you may probably, if not, you should be watching on YouTube, and that's the Nomadic Ramblers, Sharon and Bob. They were at Mitri Lake. So we said hello to them, hung out a little bit, chatted. They came and saw me today because they're thinking of coming this way a little bit for some visits later. And yeah, life is good. 2020, we're a month in and it's already way better than 2019 was. We're on the upswing, things are looking good. A lot of hard work ahead, but I've never been afraid of that. So, I have to find my dog. We're out in the desert, going for a walk. Figured I'd do a little bit of a chat now. The wind's supposed to pick up tomorrow. I figured today was a good day to get some video done. And then if we're hunkered down out of the wind tomorrow after work, maybe I will get to editing this and get it posted. So, welcome back. Sorry for the long delay. It's just one of those things when you don't have a lot of money and you're not doing a lot, what the hell do you talk about? And that's kind of where I was at. So yeah, I guess that's about it. Thanks for checking in. Thanks for watching this if you're checking it out again. And with any luck, we'll be back every week. All right? At least. Once I get caught up a little bit too and things smooth out, the place that I'm reworking at, they're kind of swamped right now, and things will eventually, I think by summer, kind of plateau out to around 20 hours a week, which is perfect. And yeah, things will be good. So enjoy your winter. Let me know what you want to see. And if you're following along already, thank you. If you haven't followed along yet, please subscribe, ring the bell for notifications, because the videos will be coming more than every 3 months. I promise. Uh-oh, I just promised. Anyway. Okay, I'm gonna go walk with my dog, enjoy my Sunday, and we'll see you all soon. Bye-bye.
like working with a monkey.